What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It is your main man, Juggernaut of multi-platinum production crew, Arkatech Beatz.
Arkatech Beatz.
Welcome to the music production and beat making live stream. I'm your host, Juggernaut, and I'm here again tonight. We have been off for 2 nights. I think this is the longest stretch of me not being on stream. Since we started this thing 107 days ago, this is day 107, right?
Beatz. Arkatech.
So if it's your first time here, make sure that you are like, commenting, subscribing, hitting notification bells for when we do go live. Like I said, we get together every night, or mostly every night, to try to do some music production tutorials with the Okaya MPCX SE. You know, we're doing what we do. Shout out to my man Vito. What up? Like I said, if it's your first time here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribing. We are multi-platinum producers, Big Pun Nas, and all your favorite rappers. Raekwon, Jadakiss, Killer Mike, Freddie Gibbs, you name it. We've done it, the game. So like I said, we're gonna get on every night and do what we do. So I'm gonna do a little housekeeping before I get started, man. Make sure if you've never been here before, make sure you're visiting arkatechbeatz.com. Make sure you're getting all of the stuff, in terms of like the kits and the books, etc. We do have books on there right now. Make sure you're learning the music business. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that's there for you. You know what I mean? Make sure you're doing that. And also, we do have drum kits, etc. Beat licenses, etc. Also, for those who are here, we are doing samples, and the samples are coming from Splice. Okay, just so that people know for right now, they come from splice.com. Just make sure that folks are understanding that we are now proud partners with Splice. So I just want folks to know that if you don't have a Splice subscription for royalty-free samples, you got to get those. We will be using samples tonight, so royalty-free samples. The links are in the descriptions. Make sure you're hitting that. Link in the bio. Make sure you're grabbing that. So let's get started with this. I got a sample in here, and we're gonna kind of get this thing rocking and rolling. Dirty piano loop. It's a dirty piano loop. We're at about 77 BPM. We're gonna go to 4-bar loop. Shout out to my man Vito. Thanks for your super chat. He's always supporting the channel, man. I appreciate him greatly for that. Give me 1 second. I am using my Streamlabs software right now. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. And I'm going back and forth between platforms, so I kind of know what's going on. We check out my folks on TikTok. Shout out to my man Kaz. What up? I'm gonna speed this up. All right, let's get this on the track. And like I said, everybody, man, these samples are coming straight out of Splice. We're cooking up from scratch tonight. Y'all ready? hats on here. Make sure that y'all liking the live, sharing the lives. It's a Tuesday night. And we're adding hats on here. We did a 16 level. We're going to go to 1/16. We're going to do some fills on this. Let's go. Add an open hat on this. Let's get into this. Go. Add another hat on here. Let's get that in real quick. Shout out to everybody in the live. Go for it. Get this kick down real quick. No, it's wrong. So wait till the bass drop. sure we hitting that like button, man. It helps the algorithm. Shares help the algorithm. Let's go. We're gonna do now. We're going into our pad performance mode. The sample is in the key of G sharp. All right.
Arkatech.
Sauce, what up? that first note in. We're gonna add another octave on that. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, hit the like button. Let's go. Yeah. Getting these comments, man. Born ready, I see you. Yeah, I'm about to put that in, bro. I really like this stab. I don't want to overdo it because I've been putting it in a few records. You know, it's not a signature sound, but I love it. Bring real rap back, man. Bring real rap back, man. Get that fall in real quick. I need a name for the beat. What? It's coming up. Beats by Keith, thanks for your gift, brother. right sound. Kind of wanted to buzz, but it growl at the bottom. And it's hard to hear that in the headphones. That joint sound crazy in my headphones. In my headphones, it sound like it's off, but I know it's not off. I know it's the right note. It's doing this weird in between. Richie Mays, what up, brother? Vito, these are my own kids. I have to make a decision, right? If I'm going to go bass line or if I'm going to go sub. And I think I might want to go sub. But let's see what it sounds better, and we're going to go from there. Shout out to everybody that's in the live, man. It's your first time here, man. Again, Juggernaut Multi-Platinum Production Team, Arkatech Beatz, Big Pun Nas, Prodigy Mobb Deep, Jada Kiss the Game, Raekwon the Chef, RZA, Killer Mike, Waka Flocka, everybody in between, Shorty Low, Lil Scrappy, Hot Boy Turk. Did y'all know I had a record with Hot Boy Turk? Y'all didn't know that, right? I had a record with Hot Boy Turk. Max B. Rod, what up? Hit me in the DM. Rod, hit me in the DM. Chat, I need a name for the beat. Counting keys. Damn. Woo. I think you got that one, Sterling. That boy said counting keys. Stay out them streets, man. I'm just trying something here with this halftime. I'm not sure. This is a 2-bar loop. Well, that's really a 4-bar loop. Let's see something real quick. We still need another instrument for the hook. Probably like 1 or 2 instruments off. like, let me save this. Shout out to the homie Sterling. He said that you should name it Counting Keys. Kind of a play on piano keys, you know what I'm saying? I kind of thought that was real tricky and slick. So kudos to you, bro. Hold on one second here. Let's get this thing saved. Because, you know, the other day I was working on something and it damn sure froze on me and crashed. So it was a good thing it was auto-saving. But I didn't like that. It didn't happen to me before. So I said, let me be cognizant of that when we're in the live stream. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want that to happen. Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with me from day one. Listen, 107 days in of coming on live stream, cooking up, making tracks. As you can see, my TikTok key has not been revoked tonight, but by tomorrow it'll be revoked, so I have to go back to the other camera. But for right now, the other computer rather. But for right now, it's working. It may work for about an hour before it starts glitching out. Who knows? We're gonna keep it going, keep it grooving and moving and grooving. For those first time here, make sure that you are like, commenting, subscribing. We get on here every night. We do music production. We do music industry. We talk about the music business, music publishing, copyright, you name it. We do it. We do it. People ask questions, what to buy, what not to buy, what to do, what not to do. You know, all types of things just to make sure that people are really be able to get forward in this music business. It's crazy. And before we started this, we didn't know what was going to come of it. But listen, it's growing, it's growing, it's growing. I did tell folks that it's official that we are like official brand partners with Splice. So you will start seeing media of us soon. I don't know if I'm ready for that one, but you know, we're gonna do what we do with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really mad at it. You know, from out of the background into the actual frying pan, or what we would call the front of the media. This is the game. You have to get in front of your people, your constituents, if you want to move product. That's what it takes. You have to get in front and do what you got to do, right? Get in front of this camera. For those who are afraid to get in front of this camera, you got to get in front of this camera. This is the new way. We're going to go into some strings. I think tremolo might work real good here. It's a killer mic. You want to hear my Killer Mike story? Let me tell you my Killer Mike story, man. I used to see Killer Mike out when I first moved to Atlanta. He used to have them series of mixtapes called The Pledge. I don't know if you guys remember that. It's like 2007, 2008, somewhere around there, 2008, 2009. He used to have these Pledge joints out, and I would see him outside, and then I reached out to him and said, "Yo, peace," I introduced myself, "Yo, Raekwon, Nas, whatever." He was like, okay. So he knew my music. You know what I'm saying? So I had got his contact, and I was trying to, pull up with him because I know that he was working. Now, this is way before Run the Jewels and all the other good stuff, man. So he calls me, and he's like, "Yo, I got something that I want to work on y'all with." I'm like, what you want to work on? So he said, "Meet me at the swag shop." So around that time, I didn't live too far from the swag shop around that time. I had one to buy in the crib. Not too far from there, like not too close, but not too far, but somewhere around that vicinity. Anyhow, I wound up linking with him, and he said he was working on a MTV series. It was an MTV series called Made, right? So Killer was working on that, and basically he was the mentor of the two rap girls on the TV show called BB Guns. It was two girls out of the Bronx. And he would bring like Prodigy in from Mobb Deep, into the episode and stuff. And he used our music as the musical bed for that episode of him being on MTV. So we did all the paperwork on MTV and everything. And he just been a friend to the room ever since. You know what I'm saying? So when we called for a favor for him to jump on the record with my man Sean Anthony Baker, he was like, "Bet, I'll do it." He did it, And then he did some other records and some other stuff. So it's like, yo, man, shout out to Killer, man. You peoples. Dirk, hit me in the DM, bro. So how do I pick? When you say my cues, you mean my samples? Before we go into 8 bars, I'm gonna look for one more sound, right? And typically, what we would look for is we would look for maybe either we would look for a lead to go into something like this. You know what I'm saying? In the past, I have used different things for leads. I've used like sirens. I've used this. I've used air horns. It just depends on the vibe you're trying to create. Because remember, on these type of tracks like this got to tell a story. And most times the story is going to possibly be negative. I'm sorry to say that, but this is just the genre of music that we're in. So most likely it's going to be something that's, has some sort of criminology to it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's just music. Tell the youth, don't go out here and doing ridiculous things. Times is changing, and they're going to start putting folks under the prison cells, man. So I'm going to tell all my youngsters out there, man, all my little YNs out there, it's time to chill out, man. It's time to chill out, bro. It's time to chill out. Used to be just like you, wilding out in them streets, bro. And at some point it gets beyond serious, and you have to really think about your future, man. How do you keep from over or underproducing? A lot of it comes from Nick, what up? A lot of it comes from just trial and error. And also what you'll start to understand over time once you start getting your music placed, if you're getting your music placed, once you start getting your music placed, and then once you start to see what the artist strips out of your music, then you'll start to understand, okay, he didn't want this, he didn't want this part that I thought was driving the record. He don't like it this way. And they start to kind of take things back and kind of pull things back. And then once you kind of start seeing that happen more often, then you start realizing, damn, I'm doing too much on it, Because let me tell you, initially how I hear it like, yo, this bass line got to go crazy, do, boop, 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 you know what I mean? And then, but then you can't follow it, you know what I'm saying? And then it removes what we would call the hypnotism out of it, right? Because remember how this music is working. It's kind of like it's hypnotic, and that's the whole point of like these loops that we're choosing, and the way that they go and the way that the drums is going. It's supposed to put you in sort of a trance. Dare I say that? But listen, right? See, he said he got a placement and it took out a whole verse, because that's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that once you start getting the placements and the artists start pulling things back, that's when you start to really understand, like, okay, I've overproduced this. I've put too much musicality in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, a lot of the beats that I love that we do, right? A lot of the beats that I love that we may do, those beats sometimes don't fly. It's because they're too musical. Maybe one might be too musical. Two, the drums might be too hard, doing too much. I notice that people are afraid of those, right? The other thing also is that it may have too many switch ups, right? Because as producers, we like beats to switch up, right? We want the intro, we want the hook, we want this, we want that, we want the bridge to change, we want the switch ups. That don't work with the artist. You know what I'm saying? That don't work with the artist. So we have to make sure that we're dialing that back, and we're making sure that we're creating what we would call moments in the record, right, that repeat themselves. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for repetitive value. We want repeat value, right? That's how we get the hypnotism. That's how we get people to say, man, I love that hook. I got to listen to that song again, right? That's what we're trying to sell here. We're trying to sell that trance, that hypnotism. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to sell that bounce, that feel, you know what I mean? Look for a lead on here. Hear that? It's kind of spooky, right? And it has that little bit of bend. And that's like kind of like a spooky lead, right? That's it right there. This is the MPC, man. Hold up, I didn't save it. I sure didn't, bro. What? Listen, I thought I saved the joint. I must have been talking and didn't save it. I'm looking at it. Why would I say untitled? What? Nah, dog. Can't do that. I almost caught an L just now, chat. MPC X, special edition. It says, can I use lower ones? It's a sample. get this lead in here, man. And I think we're gonna be good. And then I'm just gonna get this song sequence. Smoke, what up? Listen, bro. Once you go on the hardware, you not listen. And I'm coming from software because I used to also use software. Like, don't get me wrong, I used to use software to do a lot of my stuff from even back in the day. I first started on like a digital performer. You know what I'm saying? Like a little Apple II SE computer, a digital performer. I used to do all my MIDI stuff inside of that computer. It was a little black and white monochrome computer. The screen was probably as big as this MPC, the whole computer. You know what I'm saying? What's up, boy Swagger? So, like we come from that. I was using that with an ASR. Then I went to the ASR MPC. Then from the MPC, I had a VS1080, you know what I'm saying? If I remember those, VS1080, 2080, ADATs, all that other good stuff. Then we moved over to Machine. Mark of the Unicorn, you remember? We moved over to Machine for a little while. I didn't really like Machine that tough because it didn't have all the time stretch stuff that I liked at the time when the first iteration came out. And I thought that was really to me, it was a sign that it wasn't really a good platform. So I got off of it and I started to use FL. And then as I was using FL, I used FL for a while. So we did the Gibbs on FL. We did a bunch of joints on FL. A lot of Alley Boy stuff on FL. Walker. Then I moved to Serato. So I'm, Serato's dope too. So don't sleep on that too. That's a dope platform. And then I went then after Serato, I went back to the MPC. So, it's like, it's full circle. And then you can still use this with the software. The MP3C software, you can use that. You can still use your mouse. And you can use your hardware and the software at the same time. So that's the beauty of it. So you have options when you're dealing with this now. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to these guys because, man, we're going to double this. So we got our hook now, right? We got our hook. This is our hook. We're going to name that. We're going to copy this over to the new sequence. We're going to name this our verse. And how we're going to do this is we're just going to strip it down. All right. And then we're going to go into our second part of the verse, which is going to be 4 bars. So it's verse 2, and then go back to the hook, right? Main hook. Where's my man Vito, man? Make sure he's paying. You make sure you're still in the chat, Vito. So here we go, right? With the verse, what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the lead. We're going to pull out the strings. And I know this is the 808, but I want to make sure. Yeah, it's 808. How do you multi-screen the broadcast? Two cameras, bro. So I use 2 cameras. I'm using a Mac, and I got 2 cameras. The cameras are in the TikTok shop. Make sure you check those out. Those are those EME 4K cameras. These things you can't beat these with a brick, bro. I got 3 of these joints. I got for another camera set up behind me that I use for when TikTok bans my Streamlabs, because they'll ban the Streamlabs tonight because I'm not gaming on it. They say basically I can only use their Streamlabs if I'm going to game. If I'm not gaming, they won't give us a stream key. no capture card. So then what we're doing is we plug these straight into our computer. I got a hub. We put it right into the computer, and then we're using Streamlabs. And then I have one other software that I use. It's called Camo Studio. And Camo Studio, what it helps to do is it helps to take this camera. I don't know if you can see it with this camera. There's an overhead. If I go tilt it to the right a little bit like that, you can see the overhead camera right there. It's right here. So it's an overhead camera over the MPC. And then I use the Camo Studio to zoom in, zoom out. And then because it's a upside down view, it helps to flip everything around, and it works pretty good. So that's how we do the multi-screen. Because I know I needed the people to see me and then see the screen at the same time. And this is only on the TikTok, on the YouTube. It's a larger screen. All right, man, let's start doing it, man. Let's get it going. All right, so what I want to do with this is I probably want to start half of this verse with no 808 and no bass piano, right? Because my 808 is going, right? So I'm going to go the first 4 bars without it. I'm going to go the first 4 bars without it. So I'm going to delete that out. And then I'm going to go the first 4 bars, no piano, right? So the piano is going. All right. We're going to take those out. These notes should be longer, though. I ain't going to hold you. Let me fix the... Well, I'm gonna take this first half out, so it doesn't make any sense to fix that. But I'll fix it for the hook. So we're gonna cut this out real quick. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna kind of, as we coming out of the hook, it's gonna kind of create this feeling like, okay, I'm pulling everything out, which kind of gives the rapper a chance to establish himself on the record, right? Because when I strip everything down in the beginning on the first four bars, it's for us to be able to hear the rapper's cadence. We also want to be able to hear, the rapper's cadence, man, and as quickly as possible, right? Typically, if we're starting a song, let's say we're starting a song with a hook, right? You hook, the hook is going to grab you, and then when we go to that first 4 bars, that first 4 bars are going to determine if we're going to listen to the rest of the song. So we have to give the record space, right? We have to give the record space in this beginning, right? So I want to start it just like that, right? Here comes the 5th bar. Let's go. Right, and then when we go into the second part of the verse now, we're gonna still strip it down a little bit, but instead of us stripping out the piano, we're just gonna strip out the 808. And I might leave the lead in just to kind of make it feel like, okay, it's the pre-chorus, right? So we're gonna divide this in half, make it into 4 bars. I use sidechain, not yet. But most times I don't. check it out now. We're gonna go from the hook to the verse, second verse back to the hook. Let's see how that sounds. Ready? Let's go. Let me take out the fall out of the last. Shout out Chicago. All right, let's try it again. We got to do something with the 808, right? And the 808, basically, you hear that 808 carrying over into the next part of the song. It's carrying over from the hook into the verse, right? Big Mike, man, thanks for the gift, brother. Richie Mays, thanks for the gift. Appreciate y'all, man. Kaz, appreciate y'all. So listen, we're gonna take this 808, because if you notice the 808. It'll carry over into the next. It'll carry over into the next stanza. We don't want it to carry over into the next set of the song. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put what we call a ghost note in it, right? Typically, what I would do is I would go all the way up. Right, our trigger is at the top. Right, so I'll trigger that note all the way at the top. Let's see if we can find it. There we go. All right. Then I will go to the velocity, and we're going to turn this note down. We're going to almost turn it off, actually. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to try to. Where are we at? Where's my note at? Hold on 1 second. So where's a good place to find a good vocal engineer? It's a ghost note. Listen, I'm trying to get it so that we can turn the velocity all the way off. But it's basically to cut off the last part of the record, because without it, it's going to carry over, and I sometimes don't like it to do that. But I'm gonna take care of that in the but that's typically how I would do it. I used to do that at FL a lot. Just go to a note, because remember, it's all mono triggered anyway. So you just go all the way to you put a note. You can put it as high as you want or as low as you want. And really, just the key is just to turn the velocity off, so it has no volume when you're triggering. So, or I could do it another. I could do it another way. Hold on a second. I could do it 16 levels. Where's a good place to find a good vocal engineer? Shoosh, man. Social media, man. You're gonna have to just put a post out there and see who answers, and then you gotta test people out. To the hook. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? This joint is called Counting Keys. Shout out to the homie Sterling for naming this Counting Keys. Shout out to everybody that's in the live, man. We back in effect, man. We've been out of here for 2 days. And if yesterday I had a deadline yesterday to try to make sure that we were able to get the media in for the campaign that we're getting ready to start. So I had to pull up with my homie, the actor Sean Anthony Baker, and he had to help me kind of get this thing done so we can have some this media campaign we about to start with our new brand partner. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can look out for that in another week or so. So that's gonna be out soon. I hope I don't look too crazy on camera. Or, I'll be out here every night, so y'all already know what it is. But listen, man, make sure y'all like, commenting, subscribing. If you're new on here and you have not been able to, if you want to get the samples that I'm working on, they are from Splice. Make sure that you are tapping the links in the description. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you're reading all disclosures, etc., so that you can see what's happening on that. Listen, I'm a huge proponent for it because of the simple fact that I want creators to have as much control over their music as possible. So that's the way to do it, royalty free, no strings attached, man. Just pay your subscription. Make sure you got your sounds, and they got a plethora of good sounds, man. So you can go through my whole 107 days and you listen to them beats, and beats are crazy, man. So so that you know what it is. So let's go. This one is called Counting Keys, man. And when I say counting keys, man, I'm talking about piano keys, man. So I don't want to be flagged for no, what you call it. You We talk about counting piano keys, all right? We don't want nobody to sit here and think that we're talking about contraband and that other type of stuff, okay? Tell all those folks in D.C., man, lay low, bruh. Feds is coming. So Ashkin is asking me what happens to your royalties when your account is deactivated. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Once you've paid, you know what I'm saying? Those are yours. So you know, this it's not like it's not like a revocation of your your licensing. I think some places have that where as long as you're active, then it stays active. Splice doesn't operate that way. He says no need to lay low, catch one in the rat everybody out. Listen, man. You got to know when it's going too far, man. And I think what happens is that today's folks don't realize when things are going too far, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you see what's happening out there in that area. And not to be political, but that's what's happening out there because things have gone too far. You know what I'm saying? And when they get too far, then, you know, stuff starts to happen, right? In my own situation, before I went into my senior year of high school, I had a friend that was murdered. You know what I'm saying? From the ops. You know what I'm saying? Like we went through that thing. Like, think about how old I am, and that stuff has still been going on. You know what I'm saying? So like before I actually went into my senior year of high school, one of my friends got murdered by an opposing set, and you know that changed the trajectory of my life. You know what I'm saying? Having to go to that first funeral. Having to go to that first wake, you know, at 16 and a half, going on 17, and having to see that in real time, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you see that and when you see that violence in real time, you got to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? You got to make a decision. You got to make a decision on what's going to be happening for your life. So I would hate that it had to happen on that level. You know, condolences always to his family. You know, this is a long time it happened. But at the same time, it's like, you know, a lot of us learn from that. You know what I'm saying? But today is a little bit different. So, you know, it is what it is, man. I'm hoping folks can really understand, man. Like, yo, people about to get football numbers, man. There's something that I might have to add back in. There's one set of piano notes. And I think that's what helped with the transition of the 808. But let's see. Let's find out. Somebody said to slow it down. Slow it down to where? Let's see. Listen, that's something to consider, bro. I ain't mad at that. It really depends on who you're trying to pitch it to. Free Society is asking, how do we switch up the tempo without everything going crazy? All right. This is probably the greatest singular reason why I love using Splice. This is probably the greatest singular reason, right? And again, if you don't have a Splice account, I don't know what to tell you. You playing dirty pool. Stop paying these guys for these samples, man. It's not worth it. Keep 100% of your song, man. All right? It's just not worth it, man. Go there, go get your monthly thing, download as many sounds as you can possibly download, bro. Kick, snares, everything else, right? So here we go. The one thing about Splice is that Splice is going to give us a sample that has a tempo, right? So once it gives us the tempo, right, Free Society, remember it's the tempo says 154. We don't want it that fast. Well, you can't have it that fast because that's double time if you want to. But I typically would split it in half to get us to 77. That's how we got to 77 BPMs. If you're on the MPC, once you press BPM sync and warp, once you pitch it up and pitch it down, once you change the tempo up or down, everything's going to stay where it is. Right? Now, depending on the quality of the sample, you may or may not hear artifacts or distortion. It depends. Right? If you go up too high, it's gonna do what it's gonna do. If you go too low, it may sound a little, like a little wavy. You know what I mean? It just really depends. If you have a good clean sample that doesn't have too many different things going in there, and I notice this is pretty good when we're dealing with like singular instrument samples, right? So maybe like a melody of a piano, like how we got. But if you have like a whole bass, piano, guitar, and everything in sample, and then when you try to pitch it up and down, then you kind of hear those artifacts more, if that makes sense. Because remember, the only thing we have here is the only thing is the sample, and everything else we played out MIDI. So we can speed it up, slow it down because we played that out MIDI in key. So it'll stay where it needs to stay. And typically, also when we have the warp and the beat sync, it keeps everything in key, right? So that's also the it's like the Uno reverse card, like, you know what I mean? Like it keeps everything in key, and that's what it gives us the most ability to experiment and see what feels good, right? Because when we're dealing with tracks, it's the tempos and the pitches and the keys. They trigger different. It triggers different emotions. It triggers different dopamine responses, right? Keys, like if it's in the E minor or A minor or different moods. So we have to play with these things, and we have to listen to our favorite tunes and say, which key is it in? Which pitch are we running in? Which tune are we running in? What tempos are working? You know what I'm saying? If we're doing Griselda music, you know it's going to be around this tempo. You know what I'm saying? If we're doing certain boom bap, it might be a little bit slower. That's an MPC feature, but not a splice feature. But remember what we're talking about when we're dealing with splice. When we're dealing with splice, splice is going to give you the sample. It's going to give you the data that you need, right? It's going to give you the pitch, right? It's going to give you the key that it's in. It's going to give you the tempo, right? So what happens is when you're starting your music, you can always decide what range you want to be in. You know what I'm saying? And then if also, for example, if I wanted to find something to go with this, right? I've already pitched this sample to G sharp. So if I wanted to add another instrument, I could go into Splice now and look for another melody in the same key, right? And to see if something would go. You know what I'm saying? And you're mixing and you're matching and you're cutting and you're cutting and you're doing. This is sample-based production. So we can find different things to add on to this track if we really wanted to dig and dig, right? The key here is to kind of get it done within the time that we're using for our live stream. But if you have unlimited time, yeah, have at it. You know what I'm saying? You sample as much as you need to sample to get it to sound how you want it to sound. You know what I mean? So let's go. They're WAV files. And some of them are like flock files. I gotta put that in a video with you. Now, what I think I might also do here is I need to fix this piano, get this endpoint to match. Gotta get these notes to match up because they need to be all in sync. And these are the things that we have to do to make our stuff sound really clean and polished and all the other good stuff. Okay. All right. We're going to copy these notes right here. And we're gonna paste them right about here. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna transpose them up. We're gonna hold on. I need to do something here. Shout out to everybody in the live. And I'm gonna nudge this back. Well, as a matter of fact, first let me cut the end. Definitely gonna do that. So now I added the piano toward the back to follow the 808. I needed to do that. I wasn't sure at first, but now that I've done it, I'm like, okay, this sounds good. So. Whoops, it needs to start. Let me undo that, and then let me nudge it back one. The name of the track is called Counting Keys. Select all of that right there. We're going to copy that there. And we got to get that into the verse. We're going to select all of that there. We're going to delete that. We're going to go back to the top and we're going to paste that in. So what we did here is we took this out. We took this out originally. We don't have this in. We decided to take these out because we wanted the track to breathe in the beginning. So we took out the piano and we took out the 808 in the beginning. So this got to come out of there. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the verse 2 and we're going to put that whole arrangement in here again. So we're going to select all. We're going to delete it. Go back to the top. When you're pasting, make sure you always go back to the top of your track. Shout out Richie Mays, man. Thank you for your gift, man. All right, I think we are. Listen, I think we're done. I think we're done. All right, now I'm just gonna copy this last one with the intro. I'm gonna call it the intro, but it really is not an intro. It's really just the hook with the tag in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the producer tag in this beat during the hook, and that will, you have to tag your beats, folks. I can't
Arkatech.
I can't stress it enough. You gotta tag your music. Sometimes it stays, sometimes it goes, but once you have the tag in there, it lets a lot of these guys know that you want your credit. You know what I mean? Let's try that again.
Arkatech Beatz.
Listen, man, you got to remember what these folks are trying to do out here, Christian. These folks sometimes are trying to finesse you out of your position, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't say it any other way. Is that when you're in this business is about playing strong offense and sometimes counter punching and hard defense. You know what I'm saying? You put your tags in your music because you want these guys to understand that you're serious about getting your producer credit. Like that's the first line of defense. Like, yo, I want my producer credit. That's why I tagged it, right? So now if you remove the tag, and now that's number one. You remove the tag, right? We left the tag in there. That's the first issue, right? So you remove the tag. All right, cool. You remove the tag, right? Now if you remove the tag and then you still don't put me on the credit, now we got a bigger issue, right? Now you're being intentional about it, right? So now what happens is when it's time for you to negotiate, now you have to negotiate, a little bit more on tougher terms, right? Because if you're going as far as one to remove the tag and then not credit me on top of it, now we know that you're really an F boy, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to keep the stream clean. When I get the Patreon, I'm gonna be talking my talk, but you're really an F boy, and we have to deal with you accordingly, which is, we might have charged you one number, now we gotta charge you a different number. You know what I'm saying? And then when we tell you, instead of the attorney going soft in terms of like, hey, we want to get this kind of taken care of, now we threaten the takedowns and all the other good stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a different game we have to play with these folks. You got to tell these folks really stop playing with you. You know what I mean? And honestly, the more that you do, the more leverage you'll have, the more experience that you have more leverage, the more information that you have. You know what I'm saying? You can have more. You can do more. You know what I'm saying? But what I don't want artists to do, and I keep this stream, I know it's like we do a lot of music production, but I work with a lot of artists, man, and I got some artists that are good friends, and I want people to understand, man, is that the artists that have integrity, they work good, and their careers, in my opinion, last the longest. You know what I'm saying? Nas, Raekwon, Jadakiss, Fat Joe, you know what I mean? The guys who are solid, they're gonna last long. They do good business. They last long. The ones that don't do good business, you say, what happened to these guys? Where they fell off? Because nobody want to support nobody that don't do good business, bro. That's the reality of it. You don't do good business. You don't pay your producers. You don't do this. You don't do that. So because you don't do good business, how you going to get good music? How you going to get it? Once the word is out that you don't pay guys and that you're not doing whatever you're supposed to do, how you supposed to get good music, bro? you're gonna be relegated to a certain level of guys who don't have the experience to take it to the next level. That's the reality of it. It's like, yo, it requires experience. For you to get on here every night and do it in an hour and all of that stuff, it requires experience. People keep acting like it don't like you can just do it. You don't have no experience. You have to have experience in this thing. It matters. The reps matters, man. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you're dealing with a lot of these guys who just don't seem to understand, like, yo, man, do good business, man. Good business will lead to long friendships and relationships that'll last forever, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, like, that's the way. That people don't seem to understand that. You know, it's the mentality of the crab barrel mentality that's really horrible. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are dealing with, you know, inner city issues, man. You know, and we have to elevate from that. You know, but it's hard to talk to people's trauma, you know what I'm saying? So we got to do what we're doing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to play this track with the intro in it, and then we're going to get into, as a matter of fact, let me just put it in the song mode while I got y'all here. Just get the work done, right? There's a verse. We're going to do the second part of the verse. We're going to do the hook. You know, this is probably part of the record that, you know, or part of the live that we wind up posting for tomorrow. You know, you got to post the beat, of course. You got to post your music now. I know people don't want to post their music, but listen, it's a new day. You know what I'm saying? People got to hear what you're working with.
Arkatech Beatz.
No. You see what's happening? It's playing games with me. You know what I'm saying? The strings are supposed to not be in there, and it's in the wrong place. Okay, so the other hook right here now, this is supposed to have the strings in the lead, and it's not there. All right, there we go. Let's go. Topic, we're using the Kai MPC-X Special Edition.
Arkatech Beatz. We opted for an 808 out of a bass line, bro. We wanted to do an 808. We didn't want to do a bass line, so that's what we wind up doing. Feel free to grab the samples off of Splice, bro. Cut it up how you want to cut it up. You know how I do.
and Richie, I do notice that sometimes when I'm in song mode, it'll do that. But when I export it, it doesn't have the glitch. It's just when I'm playing it live, I might hear a little bit of a click in between. But that could be because it wants to save, or I'm using too much memory. I don't know. It could be a myriad of things. Honestly, as long as it's not coming out of my export, I'm cool. Also, Richie, I know you asked earlier about showing the stream setup. I'll probably do a separate video on doing the stream setup. I know people are very interested in doing the streams. Listen, the streams are important, man, because you're gonna need a set of content that you're gonna need to promote your material. Um, it's part of the what's the best way to explain it? It's part of the new way of musicians for now. Yeah, the musicians have to bear in mind, like, what is it going to take to essentially get people interested in what it is that you're doing. I find that the live streaming is probably the easiest way to do it, especially if you're not a person that really likes quote unquote scripted content. If you're not a scripted content type of person, because when it comes to scripted content, it can get a little tricky, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to get on the camera and you got to say, hey, man, in this video, I'm doing this, and this. And you got to have a hook, and then you got to have this, and you got to have all types of things. And then we have to build the intrigue. We have to have different camera transitions, cut, you know. Like that's a different skill set, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are not really, that's what make people really hate social media. is that particular that curated type of content, you know what I'm saying? Like when you have to curate the content, like that's what made people like, yo, man, yo, bump this right here. I ain't really with all that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what creates the speed bumps for a lot of folks, because like they're looking at this curated content and like, damn it, man, I want to do the curated content. Versus when you go live, man, you just talk your talk. And people who want to tune in, they tune in. They don't want to tune in, they tune out. You know what I'm saying? You ain't really worried about doing that unless you're into like buffoonery, and you know, I'm not really into buffoonery and being online and, you know, being a buffoon and stuff. I'm not really into that. You know what I'm saying? That's for the other type folks, man. That's not for me, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you just got to know what your lane is. You got to know what your strengths are. You have to definitely work on, you know, watching back your live streams, making sure that you're paying attention to your communication style, making sure that you're, you know, paying attention to your cadence, talking up, talking down, looking at the camera, engaging, smiling, you know, all the stuff that people tend to quote unquote like. So, but this is the new content wave. You just got to show what you do. You know what I'm saying? You can't be afraid about it. And you have to create a schedule for yourself that you can maintain. You know what I'm saying? So as long as you can maintain your schedule that you're going to do, so that you can have a situation that's consistent, you have to remember that these platforms, they like the consistency. Now, if you ask me, it's a new way of digital slavery, but that's another conversation for another day. That's not something that we want to get into here, right? We're just trying to make the music and get the music out, let people hear what they're trying to hear. You know what I'm saying? Not really trying to be on the stream and, you know, going crazy and talking crazy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we're not really trying to do that. What we're trying to do and we're trying to establish is we're trying to establish a new baseline for really entering the industry, understanding what we got to do, understanding how to navigate this thing, and making sure that we're not being taken advantage of. That's the main thing for me. It's making sure that we're not being taken advantage of. You know? There's a lot of games that get played. Yeah, I see Don Cannon doing that, remaking. Because listen, you know, think about the records that Don Cannon and them in the TMRO joint that they doing, right? When you look at what they're doing, like all of these records, we didn't record what we were doing back then. We didn't record it. You know, what would I have paid to have taken a picture in the studio with Nas? What would I have paid? Like, if I would have pulled out a camera back then, they'd have kicked me out of the studio, bro. They'd have kicked me out of the studio. And I don't know, have anybody seen this little clip of Black Boy Max, the streamer producer Playboy Max and Little Baby, and how Playboy was dancing to his beat, and Little Baby was in the studio looking at him like, yo, bro, why you dancing to your music like that? It making me not like the beat. It's like you laughing at your own jokes. They was clowning him for it, but yo, they can't really clown him because that's his stream. You in his studio. You feel me? So they didn't really have. So in the days when I was in the studio, we had to play quiet. We had to make sure that we didn't upset the artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to make sure that we didn't upset the artists. We had to be in there, stoic. Couldn't really show too much emotion. You couldn't really try to sell your music, you know what I'm saying? Because some producers sell their music, Swiss, Kanye, Pharrell, like, you know what I'm saying? But that's when you get to a certain level, you can do that, right? Because guys start to trust you. But if you don't, in the beginning, when we didn't have that emotion, we couldn't be in the studio talk about, yo, this is hot, blah, blah, blah. You had to let him decide, whoever you was working with. So it was real funny for me to see the shoe on the other foot. Like, he's trying to tell him that he's making the music weak. And he like, how can you tell me that the music is weak? This is my music. It's not weak, and you on my stream. So I just thought that was real interesting, man. It's different when the rabbit got the gun, right? Mark my words, man. The next set of recording superstars, they will be streamers. You trust and believe that. I've said that almost maybe 2 years ago. I said it on our podcast, and I said, yo, man, streamers are gonna be the next better rappers. It's because they understand how to connect with their audience. And what happens is people are tired of seeing, you're too cool for school. You know what I'm saying? People are kind of tired of that. They're over that. You're so cool, you can't be yourself. People are not with that. People don't really want to deal with the facade anymore. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to deal with that. People want they want reality. You know what I'm saying? So I think the folks who understand how to do that with their audience, how to connect, how to really, give a certain level of stuff to folks. I think Russ does a good job of that. Even though he's not a streamer, you would think that he is the way he's on social media. But it's gonna be really crazy. You know what I'm saying? You say put the beat back on, bro. You in my stream, bro. Talk about Pete the beat. The beat been on for 90 minutes. Where you was? You late. You late, bro. Yeah, make sure y'all check it back out the stream. If you missed it, make sure you check it out on YouTube. Labels will never be dead, man. Labels know how to corner technology, man. Once they make these deals with Suno and Udio and these other guys, it's over with. out to everybody that's in the live, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the live, man. Listen, man. We're here every night, almost every night, doing what we do. We cooking up, we making different tracks, we talking about the music business, music publishing, copyright, contract negotiations, all those nuts, financial advice, all that other good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Also, I want to make sure that you guys shout out to all of the people that's been following from day one. Yeah, that's Vito. This your vibe, right? And that's that Jersey feel. You know what I'm saying? Now we offer that, bro. We on arkatechbeatz.com, man. Site is at the bottom of the screen. You see it? Shout out to the girl Cody. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the girl Cody. Hold on a second. What's happening with my Triumph? For those who have not seen Cody, I'm trying to share an image with you. I'm trying to see what's happening with my my vertical my album cover stuff here. Bring that to the top real quick. Let's see how I can get that. For those who have not seen Cody, there it goes right there. New single coming.
Saw you at the club underneath the neon lights and it was on. And then we went outside and I knew it wasn't right, but it was on. It was on. You look good. You look so good. We should get out of here. And we could. 'Cause I want you for tonight, but not tomorrow. You can hold me while you drive.
Yes, sir.
Don't need to think twice when it feels so right.
We cooked this beat up in the live.
'Cause I want you for tonight, but not tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Tonight, woke up in my bed, I can get you out my head. Oh, what a night, what a night. And then I start to smile, and I know you should have stayed, but it's alright. It's alright. You look good. You look so good. We should get out of here, and we could. 'Cause I want you for tonight, but not tomorrow. You can hold me while you drive and take it slow.
My girl Cody, man. Yo, Richie Mays, guys, y'all know what it is, right? It's all like popcorn, bro. It is all like popcorn, bro. I'm telling you, man. It's crazy, man. What a time to be alive. If you're a music producer, what a time to be alive. There's no excuses. There's none. It's not, what a time to be alive. For folks who I gotta go back and I gotta find exactly which episode we cooked that track up in. Well, we cooked that track up in the live. Any music that you hear me playing that got Cody on it, we cooked each and every one of those beats in the lives. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had to edit the vocals in a little bit. You know, we had to do a little bit. You can hear it. We still got to mix it and all of that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? We just, you know, we just had to get an image out there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can follow her at It's Only Cody. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever. But you know, this is my new favorite one. My new favorite one right here. My new favorite one.
Arkatech Beatz.
You know I'm your ride or die. I'll be there every night. You know I'm your ride or die. You know I'm your ride or die. I'll be there every night. You know I'm your ride or die. Don't make me put you in a box and tie a ribbon round it. When you say I don't love you, how can you say that? Do you think that you know me well? If you know me, you know that that's not true. I want you to know, you know I'm your ride or die. I'll be there every night. You know I'm your ride or die. You know I'm your ride or die. I'll be there every night. You know I'm your ride or die.
Now we left the verse open. Play your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
You know I'm your ride or die. I'll be there every night. You know I'm your ride or die. You know I'm your ride or die. I'll be there every night. You know I'm your ride or die.
Listen, man. When we did the beat, it seemed like how you just said it. Like, yo, I didn't think it was an R&B vibe, bro. This is gutter music, man. Like, listen to it. Right? This is gutter music, man. This is like really like gutter music, bro. But by the time I put her vocal on it, it make it sound like something else. You know what I'm saying? Snare is hard. Kick is hard. Right? Right? Where my strings at? Huh. I didn't put strings in there. That's impossible. Strange. Yeah, but that's Cody, man. So you know what I'm saying? If it's y'all first time here and I ain't never heard Cody, that's Cody for y'all, man. We've been on the live 2 hours. We getting ready to jump up out of here. We're gonna be able to get back again tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. You know what I'm saying? Before we get out of here, what's the best distributor for producers? All right, I'm gonna say something that's unorthodox. I seen a young lady yesterday. She was on Instagram. She said she put an album out. She was getting significant amounts of streams, and she said she started to get emails for being started to get flagged for saying that her streams were not legitimate streams. And I went to ask her in the comments, but she didn't reply to me. I wanted to ask her, which distributor did you use? Which DSP did you use? And I'm almost willing to bet. that they're taking her music down and flagging her music because it's getting too much organic streams from fans. And they can't control it. So they want to say that it's not authentic. Now, that could be accurate. Or it could be somebody put bots on her joint and she don't know somebody did it on purpose to, because there's some vicious actors out there. People pay to put bots on your stream to get your music taken down. It's a very wicked world that we're in. But I'm almost willing to bet she had to probably go between DistroKid, United Masters, or TuneCore. Because if you're using any of those three, you're gonna be you put yourself in the situation where you can get taken down pretty easy for streaming fraud, especially if you use DistroKid. Like DistroKid, their alliance to Spotify needs to be studied. Allegedly, I don't want anybody to come talk about I'm slandering folks, but from my experience, it seems like they're like way too tied in. You know what I'm saying? And then with TuneCore just won't pay you for that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I thought they were better, but they're really not better. And then the same thing goes for United Masters or somewhere in the middle. We got a release that we're probably going to wind up putting out called what's it called? Lost Dreams. And we have an option to go through, of course, our distributor, which would be Sony and the Orchard. But if we put anything out through Sony and the Orchard, then they're, as the distributor, they're tied into 20% of your master. So we have to make a decision. Do we want to do that, or do we want to just go straight indie with it? And then for the most part, I most likely will go to, I have some releases on CD Baby, and that's probably the oldest one of the three, and I believe that it pays more, just slightly, and I believe that you don't have the issues with the streaming fraud like the other two, because I don't think they're in bed with Spotify as much. So just make sure that you're doing your due diligence, But on that, on to answer your question, what I'll be using for our next release will most likely be CD Baby. You pay that one time with like $10 or whatever, and you pay for the release one time, and you never got to pay for it again. So that might be where I'm going with it. I hope that helps. And I'm looking for a particular song, but I can't seem to find it. Here we go. Appreciate y'all, man, for why you do that, man. Max B home November 9th. We are in the building once he comes in.
He is going straight to the studio. We have already been in talks for that. So, we will be working with Max as soon as he gets home. That Why You Do That is one of his top records. So he's looking for us to provide him some more of that fire. So we're there. November 9th, man. Game's gonna be on. Game's gonna be upside down when it comes out. That's all I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get out of here with Cody, man.
Arkatech Beatz.
It's a late night, I don't mind. I was gonna spend all my time with you. It's a good night, it's a good time. I was gonna spend all my time with you. Wasn't sure where we would end up.
Peace, everybody.